Bharti, thank you for joining us on Swa Indian. As a consumer of your product, which are gluten free and cater to people with gluten allergies and who even have celiac, I think it's something very noble and novel that you're doing. So, to start with, baking from my heart, how did this come into being? How did the whole idea generate? And, it's got such a emotional name, baking from my heart. So, how did you keep that name?
So just to give you a little background, actually, the name comes from when my daughter was little. There was a little song that she used to sing. The song was called "There's a Little Wheel Turning in My Heart," and she used to keep making this little sign of a heart. So I originally started baking from my heart just as a hobby. Like I had two little kids, and it was just a blog that I wrote, and I baked for my kids and I blogged. So I started blogging in 2010. 16th of March 2013, my son, my then 5-year-old son, got diagnosed with celiac. And overnight, the entire business was stopped. There was no more, I stopped everything because a 5-year-old at that time needed my attention. And this is way back in 2013 in India when you said ki gluten free, and everybody said, Ye kya hota hai, 90% of the people thought that I was crazy to even get him tested at that level.
But what were the symptoms for anyone who can be
So
diagnosed
So
with celiac?
basically, in my son's name, his name's Manat. So basically, in Manat's case, he did not grow at all that whole year. He had very little growth, and he had no weight gain. He had zero weight gain, and his shoe size did not increase at all. So for one whole year, normally a child's shoe size increase every 3 months. You need to change a child's shoe size. That is the normal norm when they are growing. But for one year, he had very little, and he was did not really want to play, and he was always very tired, and he was reading a lot, and he was playing chess, and he was like a really bright kid, but did not want to step out. So I was so like I'm really blessed that I had gone to the Oberoi school. I had that degree that I had never used, but it was the best thing that happened to me because I understood kitchens, I understood how to take care of my child, I also understood food, and I'd done that wasteful or just experimental baking or whatever that baking was. I don't even know how I reached it, but it was the biggest blessing that was possible that came my way. The goal was not to reach the affluent Indian sitting in Delhi. That was not the goal. The goal was to reach people who were in Coimbatore and Pondicherry, and children whose if they woke up the next morning and they got diagnosed with celiac and they needed to go to a birthday party, what can their mother do? How can she take care of that child's emotional needs? And I always feel that it is not the dietary issue which is important, it was the emotional need which is more important.
Going on to my next question, which is what are the different gluten free mixes that you do, and what is it that you can, what are the recipes that are possible from them?
Okay, so the first one that I came up with is my bread mix. So that makes a gluten-free bread mix. And from a kitchen terminology, if I had to talk it from like what is it that's in my bread, which is not in another bread, another gluten-free bread. So basically, it has a web. If this is my hand. What does gluten do? Gluten is a protein. It causes a web. And so the bread that I manufacture is the premix that I manufacture. That is very, very heavy in grains, and it has no preservative added to it at all. And it is very heavy in and very low in starch. So I have a bread mix, I have a cookie mix, I have a cake mix, and I have a pancake mix. These are the 4 products that are all available on Amazon. And it's the model was generated looking at a child. So
Yeah, this is like as soon as you were telling me, this is like a child's dream to have
it is
pancakes
a
and
child's
bread and
dream.
cookies.
Yeah, it's a child's dream. That was the idea, is to create a child's dream. So they all do not have any artificial food coloring. They do not have any preservatives. They are made with so-called the dirty grains. So they're made with kuttu ka atta and jwar and ragi, and the grains that. And if you told your child
And
to
these are
have
all
it,
locally sourced grains, is it? All
yes,
locally
they're all
sourced.
locally Indian grains. They're so-called the grains that the forgotten Indian grains. Let me put it this way, and they are not expensive. Just so that you know, they're not right, and they are not grown in areas where they are sprayed with preservatives or anything. They're like very very natural in their content and very very good in nutritional value. The iron levels of ragi cannot be substituted for anything, and all the premixes that I made it with the mind that they are gluten free, soy free, nut free, egg free, and they are dairy free. So they are free of all the 8 allergens. There are 8 allergens which are called the 8 head allergens, which also includes its shellfish. But obviously, India mein to itna hota nahi hai. Shellfish is not like it's not consumed at that level. It's not manufactured at that level. But they are free of all allergens. So there is no dal in them, and there is no soy in it. Because a lot of kids also have soy allergy. A lot of kids have dairy allergies. So these are just premixes that are like just packet kholo, and you can make it with just 3 ingredients. They're not complicated ingredients. They're just 3 ingredients which are there in your house. So if you're dairy free, you can use coconut oil, or you can use if you are you can use if you are yeah, you can use almond butter instead of dairy. You instead of egg, you can use chia seeds. There's a substitute for everything. Instead, if you don't have eggs, you can use, and you're with okay with dairy, you can use egg. And what I did was, because I was doing it with the idea that I wanted the product to be world class. So all my products are lab tested, and they're on a
Yeah, I was
yearly.
actually going to ask you about certifications. What are the certifications that one has to go through to certify as a gluten-free brand, and also in terms of all the chemical testing and allergen testing, and whether yours is a completely exclusive facility?
Yes, so I have 100% gluten-free facility. Okay, absolutely 100. It's not 100, it's maybe 200% gluten-free facility, because I do not allow any grain. I only get the grain, and I mill every single thing myself. So there is absolutely no chance of cross-contamination.
I mean, this is excellent work that you're doing, because gluten free is something that a lot of people are getting aware and educated about, and as they're getting aware and educated about this, they're also getting aware and educated about the kind of allergies that you have, and then to make those exclusive foods available for people with allergies, I think is a very very novel thing to do.
Actually, to be honest, Namrita, I would not even recommend these little premixes that I do. I would recommend it to everybody, whether you have the allergy or not. Because instead of having the refined flour, which is such bad quality, and the kind of processes it goes through, this is so much nicer. And it's a quick way to do it. And your kid is having something healthier, yet they're enjoying and they're happy with it. Because a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old doesn't know the difference between a pancake that is made out of kuttu ka atta and maida. Okay, it's only in our mind. I was very lucky and very blessed, to be very honest. That I had the degree, I had the know-how, I had a supporting family, I had a very supporting husband. I had the entire environment support me to go through this journey. And so I feel really blessed that I had it, but a lot of people don't have this opportunity. And it is extremely emotionally a very, very hard journey.
Our conversation has been absolutely amazing, and you've delved into so many details about uh, the addressing of celiac disease, to gluten-free allergies, to your mixes, to everything that you can do with your mixes. Thank you so much for joining in, and all the best for this mission that you've set out on.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.